Hello, gamers. So, there's a lot of exciting things are happening here at the Loft Project and GM Academy. We are gearing up. It is currently Tuesday this week, and on Saturday, there is the June 2023 GEA Game Day one-day mini convention in St. Clair, Missouri. We are going to unveil our second official Loft Game Master, Ron Watson. You've heard me talk about him before on this channel. A few nights ago, I was speaking with him, and he mentioned something that I just thought was so profound it needs to be a video. And he has talked about doing a video channel at some point in the future, but he doesn't have definite plans. So I thought, well, this has got to get out now. It like blew my mind. But he was comparing the world of tabletop role-playing games to the world of video games in this way. That basically we have, a veneration for really cool modders in video games. That, I remember, a few years ago, my older son was just raving about this particular Fallout mod. And, I don't have a lot of time in my life for computer games because my life is pretty much this kind of, tabletop game. But I know gamers. I mean, gamers are my life. We all hang out, talk together. I have a business serving them and all that kind of stuff. And so I know mods are a big deal. And what Ron Watson pointed out the other day is that GMs are to tabletop gaming what modders are to video games. And yet somehow modders are, venerated and lauded and appreciated and stuff. And some people, understand, what game masters are and what game masters do. And they certainly used to, in the 80s and 90s and stuff, and the early 2000s. I would say even all the 2000s, maybe up into the 20 teens. But especially, since the 5E era began in 2014, and, there's been a Wattsification, of our hobby, of our favorite game. There's been a lot of derision directed toward, what is often derisively called homebrew. And homebrew is modding for tabletop. And so it really kind of struck me like, if a game master is inviting people to play a homebrew game, in video game speak, it's hey, come play my mod on my server. And that would be, try out my mod, on my server, see if you like it. And that would be received completely differently by video gamers than some people would be like, oh, is he bugging you about his homebrew again? Like, whatever. I'm telling you, folks out there listening to the channel, I feel older and older all the time because, in a lot of ways, I remember a very, very different world, and I remember a very, very different game. One person in our Discord community pointed out to me that historically, if the first game of Dungeons and Dragons was apparently played on April 17th, 1971. And now, obviously, it didn't get published in 1971, and I guess that's where they were sitting down to work on it or something. I guess that's the first official time that the developers, I guess Gary Gygax, Dave Arneson, and the gang, back in the day, those people, I guess that, looking back in their memoirs or their business records or whatever, I guess that's when they considered their very first game to be was April 17th, 1971. Well, I was born on April 22nd, 1971. I was born 5 days after our favorite game. And so, so by the time the game was published and was coming out in the late 70s, early 80s, you might remember when I tell my story on the channel that I got the Moldvay red box set for Christmas in 1982. So I was just coming up and reading and, ready to go at age 11. And so I have pretty much, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but the way a gentleman put it in our Discord community when he pointed this out, he said, John, this game has been your life. I do remember, because I was there, a completely different attitude towards game masters, a completely different attitude towards what game mastering is, a much clearer, deeper, and better understanding of what game master is. I think that so when Ron Watson compared game mastering to tabletop being the same as modding for video games, I'm like, it was like the light. If I was a cartoon character, a light bulb would have went on over my head, and you would have heard like bells, like ding, 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 ding. Or if it was a game show, it'd be like, we'd have a winner. I'm like, wow, that is like so profound. So, sharing it with you now. So I firmly believe that, and I'm going to use that analogy like from now on. But I'm not going to pay Ron Watson a nickel every time I use it. Sorry, Ron. All right. So in the meantime, we're going to be working on getting our first live stream up and running at the convention that day. If you've got suggestions for what you'd like us to talk about, just let me know. If you are interested in a free month of Loft Project, be sure to make sure you've commented since June 12th. And on June 12th, 15 out of 300 people, or not on June 12th. June 12th is the day we started the contest. But when we hit 300 subscribers, 15% of those, or 15 people, which is the same percentage as rolling a D20, will be selected to get a free month of Loft subscription. So there is that. In the meantime, I will see you around the gaming table.